Oh, wow. Welcome back to Comics with Drew. And Drew is late again, but you know what? That is an artist's prerogative to be late starting a stream. Uh, not late, not late on book delivery, but late on starting streams. Two different things. So, anyway, thanks for joining me if you're already here. And we're going to figure out what we're going to draw today. You know, normally, I actually have this planned out, but for whatever reason, I haven't gotten around to planning it this time, and that can be a problem because, sorry about all the noise here. That can be a problem because sometimes on a drawing stream you'd want to get things organized. So, all right, too many cords and cables here. I have actually rearranged my little studio here, and the reason for rearranging my little studio is due to having a suitable background for recording videos, because I've switched up my video formatting so that I'm on camera for all my videos. Imagine that, being on camera. All right, can I get this straightened out here? All right. All right, plug back in the camera. Wish I could do all this wirelessly. That'd be nice. So, can we start the camera now? Well, let's make sure we got the right camera. There we go. There we go. Okay, now we're working again. Now we're cooking with gas. Okay, so like I was saying, I hadn't figured out what I wanted to draw this week. I've had a lot of stuff going on. Sorry it was late starting the stream because I was out watching my soccer team. I wasn't actually at the game. They were doing a friendly. They were doing an international friendly against a Premier League team. And so I definitely wanted to take a look at that. I hope I sound all right. Let me know if you like the way I sound today better than previously. I have gone ahead and found my lavalier mic. I'm not sure how you pronounce that. But what it is a it's a mic that you pin on your shirt with a clamp or something. Okay. I had some photo references that I wanted to work with. See if I can locate those. That's not it. That's not it. Here we go. All right. So I whipped this up earlier today. All right. There we go. Vindababe. This is what Vindababe is going to look like. So I need to, let's see, bring that in here. And if you're watching, you want to comment. I don't know who's watching. So hello, whoever you are. It says I got one viewer. But I like to make this an interactive stream, if at all possible. So, all right. So this character right here, this is this character here. So I've been working on this for the past 2 weeks. I think I'm going to give this drawing a break because I need to get this building figured out here. And I just, for whatever reason, haven't had the time. I'm not entirely certain, actually. You know, I might work on this alligator right now because I haven't had the time to really do it for the past week or so. Such is the vagrancy of having a full-time job and not being able to just sit at your desk all day long drawing. Much as I would love to do that. But if you have anything you want to ask me, let me know. If you have any topics you want to talk about, let me know. So, but I will tell you a little bit about this character. This is Vindababe again. She is a superhero. She's one of 4 superheroes that star in this story called Dark Variance. And one of the things I wanted to do with her is I wanted to give her kind of a bit of a dangerous kind of vibe to her aura, because she's her real name in human form, because she's not really quite human. This is a kind of a hybrid being that dark matter creates with a dark variance. So she's got the personality, and she's got a lot of what goes into her, alter ego, her human alter ego, but she's got kind of a bit of a different kind of personality that kind of gets heightened by it. So she's willing to, actually I need to make that like that. So she's kind of she has kind of like a what's the her attitude and her risk taking and her what's the word I'm looking for? She's much more of a risk taker, and she likes to be dangerous. So she likes to be a lot more dangerous, and she takes pleasure in doing things that may not necessarily be socially acceptable because of the fact that she's just got her own kind of way of looking at things. So she's kind of a wild card. That's what I'm looking for. She's a bit of a wild card. So anyway, one of the things I've been needing to do is I've got the story right, and I've got this character, and I'm working on her, but I haven't really pinned down her look. So one of the things I wanted to do with her hair is you'll see I've been drawing her hair kind of wild over here, but in this close up, she's got like auburn hair. She's not red haired. She's got kind of like a dark reddish hair, and naturally her hair is kind of wavy, but with her dark variance persona in this form as Vindababe, because her real name is Elizabeth, right? Her name is Elizabeth Eastman, and then her dark variance form is Vindababe, and so she has a lot of the same characteristics of her alter ego, but she's also got some characteristics from this fictional character that the dark matter has basically taken and combined her into. So part of that is that her hair has these kind of like points right here. It's kind of a little bit unnatural the way her hair kind of rolls and kind of flows. So it doesn't kind of quite flow smoothly like, say, Common Sense Girl's hair does. So I drew, hey J-Bot, thanks for showing up, man. This is Common Sense Girl. Okay, so these are the 2 girls, and I drew these today, and I just whipped these up, and I was like, what I wanted to do is try to get some consistency with the 2 of them, and that way I can start building out character sheets. So I'm going to start doing a bunch of different types of head-on views, profile views, 3/4 views, looking up and down, and I'm going to build basically a do I have my, where is it? You would think that on a draw stream I'd have scratch paper at the ready. You would think, but that would involve planning. We wouldn't want planning to occur. So let's see here. Can I pull this out? Yeah. All right. So I'm going to build basically I'm going to build basically a character profile or character sheet. There you go. So what I'll do is, I'll draw it head on, right? And then I'll draw another head here and another head here. And then basically it'll be 3/4 view. So this will be like this, and then this will be like this. And then we'll be doing this kind of thing here. And this is how I'm going to build out these characters so that I know how to draw them at any given way. So what I've typically done when I'm drawing, I should probably pop this up. Yo, JBot. So anyway, so when I'm drawing, oftentimes what I'll do is I'll say, I need to draw this character like this. I'll need to draw this character like this, where she's facing this way, and then I'll make it up on the fly, right? I'll say, okay, I'm going to draw like this, and and that's it. What you really want when you're drawing an actual comic book or a graphic novel is you want to get a little bit more foundational information available to you. So you want to be able to, especially when you're working with teams, which I'm not working with a team, I'm doing all this stuff by myself. It's one reason it's taken so long to get this far. Actually, and then, yeah, there we go. That was going to drive me crazy. Okay. Anyway, what you want to do is you want to have like full-on character sheets. So you'll have the character in different faces with different directions that they're looking at. You'll pose the body, straight up and down, right? And then you'll do them in profile, of course. Like this, and then you'll do like a back view, and I haven't done any of that stuff. So today I did this sketch as a reference, and I put it up on Instagram. So oftentimes what I'll try to do is I will put stuff on Instagram that I'm going to be trying to work on, and sometimes that works out, sometimes it doesn't. So I drew these two girls, Common Sense Girl and Vinda Babe. I'll put them up. And so I'm going to try to start working this week on getting full character profiles set up for them. So anyway, by the way, this is not how her mouth should work. Her mouth should work like this, and she got too much of a toothy grin there. just a bit much. There we go. That's a little bit better. Also, I hear people, they say, you shouldn't get me neither. A character sheet would be good for people that want to do fan art too. Yeah, no, you're right. That's absolutely right. So I think it was, who's the guy that does Replicator? It's Rob something. God, I can't remember the name off the top of my head. Anyway, Rob had a character sheet that he did, which I just thought was amazing. And so I totally ripped that off one time, and I put together a character sheet of her. One of the other things is that I need to get her color unique, because she's kind of like, she's part of a set. So there's two different Vindicator characters. So let me talk about that, right? In Dark Variance, the book is Dark Variance. All right. And in Dark Variance, these characters, you know what I'm going to do? I am going to get a pen. Let me get a pen out here. One of these days I'm actually going to get a Sharpie Ultrafine and keep it in here. All right. Close. No, not close. Give me something big. Where's my 8.0 or 0.8? 1.0. There we go. All right, now we're cooking. All right, so we're gonna put this to the side. Let's see if this shows up better. That shows up much better. Okay. All right, so this is the book, Dark Variance, right? And the thing here is that these characters, Vindabud, Vindababe, Common Sense Girl, and General Safety. Okay, so they all have very weird, kind of silly names, and because they kind of they came up with their names kind of on the fly. Okay, so what happened in the story is these four people, right? This is Vinabud is Tanner Troy. That's his human form, Tanner Troy. Vinababe is Elizabeth Eastman. I promise you, I'm going to get to drawing. I promise. And then Common Sense Girl is Ava Adams. And General Safety is Matt Morganson. By the way, I'm a big, big fan of alliteration. So I made a point of doing that. Look at these four people, right? Okay. So, yes, feel free to mock me. All right. So these four people, right? These are like late teens, very early 20s. Okay. And anyway, these four are in a cafe and it's like a kind of like a geek themed cafe where you can tell it's got anime playing, and so these two these four together are having coffee at this cafe, and they're talking about a manga and an anime. It's not a real one. It's one that I've made up for the book, and the name of the manga and the anime is what did I call that? Let me make sure I get this right. To the okay, yeah. I've made up a completely ridiculous manga name. What I try to do is I try to come up with the most ridiculous name for a manga that doesn't make any sense whatsoever. So it's Sequitur. This is the name of the manga that they're fans of. Sequitur Vindicate. All right. All right, this is the manga anime that they're fans of. It's a fictional manga, and they're all fans of it, and they all meet in this cafe in downtown Orlando, and wherein they're in very close proximity to an incident where dark matter escapes containment, and they're kind of like at the epicenter of this incident. And while they were all arguing about their favorite characters, the dark matter explodes, and then sees that the dark matter can tell that these life forms here are in mortal danger, and so what it does is it combines these characters, these people, with characters from the manga. Okay, and so then they basically there's three different characters here that the manga has and the anime has, and basically they actually have coffee, like collector coffee cups, and these two characters have Vindicator coffee cups, right? So I'm just going to do asterisks. These two, they have Vindicator coffee mugs, and that's where they basically get the powers of the Vindicator in Sequitur Vindicate. Okay. Now, again, don't read anything into the title and don't read anything into the name. Don't go look it up because it doesn't matter. Because one of my favorite things about anime and manga is that a lot of the English translations don't necessarily make any sense. So, because they don't make any sense, because they're bad translations, you get weird things that some people might think sound cool. So, anyway, so these two basically get combined with the Vindicator character from the manga and become Vindabud and Vindababe, right? Because he's a dude and she's the girl. So they just like, well, I'm just going to be Bud and Babe. And they call each other in the course of the story. She refers to him as Bud and he refers to her as Babe. So they won't say Vindy or anything like that. They'll just say Babe or Bud. And that's the way those two communicate. Ava Adams here, she basically is she gets the powers of a villain in Sequitur Vindicate called Omniscience. Okay. Okay. And so she has the abilities of this villain character, right? So we'll put a triangle here, and she gets the Omniscience character, and then has all the different powers that I've talked about previously. And so then Matt Morganson, he's a character that I haven't actually come up with a name for the manga character, but the character has the ability to control. The character can levitate matter. Basically, it can hold it up, it can accelerate it, and it can make it slow down. And he does this with via the assistance of a bow staff that he has, right? And he's colored basically like a stoplight. He's almost colored like Robin, like from Batman, if you think about it. But basically, that's what his idea is, that he's all about the general safety of everything, and that's what his character in Sequitur. I think I might just actually call him something like Colonel Caution. There we go. I have just created a name for my book right on a live stream. Colonel Caution. All right. And that's what Matt Morganson becomes, Colonel Caution from the Sequitur Vindicate. So these are characters that are in this manga, and Matt Morganson basically gets morphed with Colonel Caution, and then he calls himself General Safety. And Ava Adams is morphed with the Omniscience character, and she becomes Common Sense Girl. So they pick out these names because they're not, artists or writers. They don't care. They're just coming up with something to call each other, because now they suddenly found themselves converted essentially into superheroes, and they've got a bit of a loose screw. All four of them do, and but they work together as a team, right? So there is another character which I've talked about before, and her name is Zoe, and Zoe Brighton. And Zoe Brighton is the super genius that knows how to contain and control dark matter, and so she fits these characters with these devices to kind of restrict the dark matter contagion that they have, and keep them from basically losing their humanity. So that's basically the cast of characters. So I will not be taking any questions. Just kidding. I'll take all the questions you want to throw at me. So, by the way, let me know if you think that I sound better, because I'm using a different kind of mic today, and I want to make sure that it's good. This actually has me connected to the computer because it's cabled, but if not, I might switch to my AirPods. So, but anyway, so today I'm gonna do a little bit of Vindababe, right? So she's going to be here in this panel. And is that even in focus? I don't even know if that's in focus or not. There we go. That's in focus. Okay. And let's see here. Switch it up. Pencil. Yay. Or, excuse me, lead holder is the preferred nomenclature. Donnie. So, all right. So I've got my my panel here. So yeah, so I was talking about all this stuff because I wanted to, have a frame of reference for Vindababe to actually draw her here. So, all right. One of the things I've noticed when, again, I've talked at length about this before. One of the best ways to learn references is to open up a Pinterest account and then just pin drawing references. And one of the things I was looking at today, I have traditionally had a hard time drawing females without making them look like men because I just get into this whole, actually, you know what I'm going to do? Yeah, this is a drawstring. Where did that pencil go? Do I have the pencil here? Swear to God, one of these days I'm going to be organized. All right, we're going to do it with this. All right. All right, we're going to do it with this. I traditionally have drawn like this. Okay, so when I was drawing my webcomic, I drew a character called Vindabud Superhero in Training, and this is Vindabud, right? It goes like this, goes like this, goes like this. Oh my God, this is the first time I've drawn this character like this in like, geez, how long? At least 5 years, right? But I've drawn it. I've drawn him for so long. It's like muscle memory. Actually, it goes a little bit further down there. Okay. Invariably, Vindabud is screaming or yelling. So I don't think he actually ever talks without yelling. Bring this down. There we go. So this is Vindabud Superhero in Training, and this is the web comic character that I drew for 20 odd years. Okay, and I have elected to basically reboot this character as an actual comic book, right? There you go. And he's got this tied on mask in the back. Okay. So anyway, so as you can see, angular face, right? And I've been so stuck drawing that way that it's made it difficult for me to figure out how to draw female faces correctly, especially with this big mouth here that he has between his nose and his chin. This is definitely a cartoon style. So anyway, so what I was looking at actually today when I was drawing this character was I was looking at, it's like, what is it with female characters? What is it with female faces that makes them look female? And why am I having so much trouble with it, right? So what I found out was when you're drawing a female face, things tend to be tapered and thinner and rounder. So if you can avoid extra lines and you can avoid having angles, then you're going to have a better shot at drawing a female properly. So like here's your skull, right? And then here's your cheekbone. But notice how it's tapered and round. And then it comes back up here. Again, we're going away from that kind of thing, right? So we don't want that kind of sharp edge. What we want is just an ever so nice turn here. So then it's going to come back up and it's going to go here. And then you're going to have your ear, right? And you're going to draw it correctly. You're going to make sure you draw the cross lines and where they come across so that you know where to put the eyes and nose and all that stuff. So, all right. So if you got your ear here, right? So your nose is going to go here. Your eyebrow is going to go here, right? Okay. And something I've also noticed is that it's rare that you have bang, bang, bang. It's usually like this. It's usually kind of, for whatever reason, you put this kind of cross in here. It makes the eye look so much more effective. It makes the eyebrow look so much more effective. So anyway, so you're gonna draw the eyes here, right? Okay. And for women, especially, heavy eyelashes. That just makes it look more female. So again, we're gonna go on the other side here. Now, the eye on the far side usually comes like right into the bridge of the nose, like right there. So then you'll be like doing this. All right. And again, you want to kind of hint at the nose. So I was doing a review of World's Finest, and I was looking at the Supergirl that Dan Mora draws, which I can't seem to shut up about, and I'm sure it pisses people off. But actually, what I did was I put the character. I actually just took a piece of paper out and I traced the character to see what the hell he was doing, because it was vexing me. It's like, why does this look so good? What on earth is he doing? And so basically I just traced it out here, right? This is Dan Mora's Supergirl, and I've traced it. So this isn't this is my drawing, but this is not my actual art. So I've traced it out. And if you'll notice here, bang, 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 that's the nose, right? You know, what a lot of people want to do is they want to just come in here and they want to draw that nose all the way through. Dan Mora doesn't do that, right? And all of his hair, it's like bang, 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 bang. They're all just like quick, very ninja-like strokes. So he doesn't get into any kind of definitive line. The way it looks, the reason it looks so good in the book is because he has a great colorist. Tamara Bonvillain is doing the color. And if you look really close, the color that she uses is just really, really evocative and really fills in the blanks, right? She knows how to drop the color in just so, and to give you that lifelike look with Mora's very wispy, kind of surreal drawing. So anyway, S curves for the hair. Yes, exactly. The S curves for the hair. By the way, if you're not familiar, the S curve, I can never do one just so, but Dan Mora is like a freaking godlike S curve maker. So, but it's like it's that, right? You know, if you do enough of these and you just draw them all together. Let's see. Can I even do it here? Do. Right? You know, if you do enough of these, you're gonna have yourself a hairstyle in no time, and it's gonna look so nice and so pretty. And by the way, this is what Mora really does. He just like draws like 45 S curves in his hair, and boom, it's good. So Jay bought yes, S curves for the hair, S curves for the win, FTW. So that's what he's doing. So anyway, so I was like, okay, so I need to kind of focus on this myself, right? I got to figure out how in the heck he's doing that. And that's one of the other things is that the corner of the mouth comes right down from the center of the eyes, right? So you want your mouth to not be any further across the face than here. So imagine just drawing a straight line here. Also, this is the side. So the human head is not a ball, unlike Ryan Johnson's head, which is a beach ball. The human head really, I mean, let's get this ear. It's going to drive me crazy until I get this ear. Okay. The human head actually kind of is more of like an oval from the top, right? All right. That's a terrible human head, but that's kind of the way it is. So anyway, so you want to make sure you've got the center of the lips, boom, 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 and then smile, and then drop it down a little bit, and then you want to bring down the mouth a little bit like that, and then and even so, my trouble is I always keep running into the situation where I'm not getting the mouth fitting right. So that's something that I've been trying to work on fixing. So let's see here. There we go. That's better. It looks a bit better. Okay, so there you go. And it's still kind of angular, and bring it forward. And you don't want to put too much of a line on it. So, and then you also want to make sure that you've got a thin, slender neck. So, and then the other thing I've been noticing is the hair kind of just comes like in a piece up at the top, right? And then you just fill in the detail on the side. Oftentimes you'll have kind of like this kind of action going on, and then you've got the back of the head supporting the back of the hair like this. I like to draw bangs personally. And but you'll usually have it coming like that. So, and you can go to town defining the back of the outer line of the head of the hair, but you have just got to really be loose when doing the actual hair itself. But if you've never actually drawn a comic book before, and especially if you've been drawing a certain kind of way forever, and it's not that you can't draw differently, it's just that you're not used to drawing differently, then it can be a Herculean task, because you've got to like in my case, I'm rebuilding 4 characters from scratch practically. Plus I'm developing at least another, let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 secondary characters for sure that are major supporting players. So that's a lot of work, and that's one of the things that I've been thinking about this book for so long, and I see all these guys, they're like doing their crowd funds, and they're like, oh, I've got a book and I got a story, I'm gonna go hire an artist and all this stuff, and then I think what happens is they kind of get into it, and then they realize that it's not quite as simple as it looks, especially when you're an artist type, or excuse me, a writing type person. I'm doing all of it myself. So I'm the writer, I'm the artist, I'm the colorist, I'm the letterer. I'm layout, I'm the editor, I'm the proofreader. I'm doing all of it by myself, and because it's free, so it's cheap. You can't beat the price, but that means that I have to put in a lot of that work. So again, one of the other things is, like, again, when you're doing this, you want to kind of hint, at where things are, right? I'm going to kind of hint at her nose. So your imagination can fill in the rest of the details. And I need to bring her mouth up just a little bit. There we go. That's a little bit better. I was at a restaurant tonight, and the girl, actually, this is just going to be Vinda Babe. Boom. For sure. Boom. Boom. Now, one of the trademarks of Vinda Babe is that I will always wind up having this little kind of flippy curl that in her bangs. So it's always going to go out kind of like this, So that's just going to be kind of like her S curl. Like Superman has that S curl up here. This is Vinda Babe's little curl off the top of her bangs. Let's see. How do I want to do this? Now, it's actually funny. Vinda Babe is based upon the way she's modeled after my wife. And so my wife, when she doesn't actually work on her hair, when she just like washes her hair and then just, brushes it out, her hair gets this kind of wild wavy look, which I think is freaking super gorgeous. And she hates it. She says she looks terrible, but she's wrong. She looks fantastic. And it's super hot. I really like it. And so that's one of the reasons why Vinda Babe, which is based upon the name Elizabeth, her name is not Elizabeth Eastman, but the character of Vinda Babe is based upon her. And so consequently, I'm going to make her hair look the way I kind of envision it when she doesn't actually go through and, straighten it out and all that blow drying nonsense. I like the wild hair. So, but Vinda Babe is a bit of a troublemaker, and she has no compunction about doing things maybe a little bit more unorthodox than they ought to be. And she has fun doing it. So let's see here. They are both Vinda Babe and Common Sense Girl are of slight frame. They're not some big hulking chicks or anything like that. So, but they pack a lot of power. So anyway, I had a video up today, or not today, it was yesterday. I uploaded this video, and where I was commenting on the Rolling Stone article about Zack Snyder and the bot army. And, I took it down. And the reason I took it down was because, the channel is about comics. It's Comics with Drew. And while I do like talking about, a lot of different cultural things, and I do have a couple of videos about movies and stuff like that, what I've realized is that certain things are just really divisive to people. And because I'm trying to build my channel and build my characters in my book, I don't want to alienate people unnecessarily. And this isn't to say that I'm going to, muzzle myself, but ultimately what I just felt was like, I don't feel like I need to make this point with this. This isn't like the hill that I really need to be dying on. And so I took the video down. But the fact of the matter is that I just don't think that the Zack Snyder DC movies are good movies. Okay. I'm sorry that they're just not, and I will to the end defend that point of view, because I don't think that Snyder understands the DC characters. He just simply does not understand Superman, and he does not understand Batman, and he doesn't understand Wonder Woman or Aquaman or any of them. What Zack Snyder wants is gods, like Roman deities, Basically, he wants to do 300 with superheroes. That's what Zack Snyder wants. He wants 300, like the movie 300 with superheroes. And that's, that's just not what DC Comics are about. They're not about that. The heroes. Superman is about hope. Batman is about being practical. Wonder Woman is about optimism and looking towards a brighter day. That's what these characters are about. And what Zack Snyder is obsessed with doing is making movies about death and violence, and depression and darkness. That's what Zack Snyder wants to do. And even Watchmen isn't really like that. Okay. The Watchmen movie is not like the comic book for a number of reasons, not the least of which is the ending, but it's not okay. Watchmen is not endlessly depressing and dark. Watchmen is a very specific tone, but Zack Snyder wanted to do super violent comic book movie, and that's what he's done with all of these movies is he's made them super violent, dark, grim, dark fests, grim, darky, darks. It's grim, darky, dark, and the depression bunch. That's Zack Snyder's Justice League, and so it's not a tone that lends itself to gigantic box office. Okay, one of the reasons why the MCU is so successful in its first and second phases, I guess third phase too. The reason why it's so successful is because it was fun. Okay, it wasn't all jokes and all. There was emotional weight and emotional heft, but it was also well balanced with the fun things about the superheroes. And that's something that Zack Snyder doesn't understand. And that's why the DC extended cinematic universe sucks. Okay, it just does. And don't get me wrong, I love Batman, I love Superman. Let's see, and let me. Snyder's DC was so damn gloomy, but I'd watch the center cut of the original any day. Well, that's fine. Okay, and you're right. You can watch Zack Snyder's cut of Justice League, for better or for worse, is his vision. Okay, so all right. The fact of the matter is that it's still Zack Snyder's vision, which is entirely wrong for the characters. So, by the way, Joss Whedon being tacked on to do Justice League was a bad idea. Not because Joss Whedon is a bad director. He's not. He's kind of a one-trick pony, and it's fun for a minute, but people can tire of it, and I understand that. But you can't tell me that Avengers movie is an objectively bad movie. It was a really good movie. Age of Ultron had issues, but Whedon has a totally different kind of aesthetic for his films, and so trying to get Whedon to finish Justice League was absurd. It was like calling in a pastry chef. Putting Joss Whedon on Justice League was like calling a pastry chef in to finish the barbecue. That's the same thing. Nobody wants pastries on their barbecue, and if you're in the mood for pasta, and Zack Snyder is saying, "Hey, come to my pasta place, and here's all my barbecue." The barbecue might be good, but it's not pasta, And if you call the pastry chef in to finish your barbecue because the barbecue guy, the pasta guy, is giving you barbecue instead of what he's supposed to be giving you, you're going to have a gigantic mess. So that's what it is. That's your analogy. Zack Snyder is a barbecue pitmaster who is working at a pasta place trying to serve you barbecue instead of the pasta that you're coming for. And then they fire him, and then they bring in the pastry chef to give you pasta, or actually not even give you pasta, but to give you barbecue with a little bit of donuts on it, essentially. And it's just a disaster. So yes, I know it's a draw stream. Let me do some more drawing. By the way, all right, so we've got her lips up here like this, right? And I've noticed drawing women, okay, what you want to do is you want to kind of hint at the teeth. You don't want to actually draw teeth because then they'll look like hillbillies. It'll look terrible. I don't know why this is. One of the things I've noticed about hot women is that you just look at them and they're so hot and they're so gorgeous that you don't even think about their individual features because it's all the whole that's making the impact on your lizard brain as a guy. So, or whoever. that's interested in women. So anyway, but that, yeah, so that's Vinda Babe. So yeah, so to work on the comic book today, by the way, Joss Whedon looks like a pastry. Yes, Joss Whedon does look exactly like a pastry. So that is 100% correct. So anyway, so I deleted the video because I got one dislike on it, and you know, my heart really wasn't in it. I didn't feel like I needed to defend this to the end of the end of the internet. So I deleted it. So if you saw it, yay, good for you. But if you, yeah, and I actually deleted it. It's totally gone. So I got the original video on my hard drive. It's not up on YouTube. Okay, so let's see here. What can I do to get Vinda Babe in this panel? So move this one over here. And what I should do I have, no. No, I don't need tape. I can do this. Ha ha ha. Like I said, kneaded erasers are amazing. You can use them to fasten things. That's my reference. Okay. So it's going to be a bit of a trick shot, and this is my fault for doing that. Now, what I could do, oh, you saw it? Nice. Good for you. It's a good one. I get not wanting to deal with wackos, though. Yeah, thank you for watching it. No one liked it. There's 0 likes. There's 1 dislike, and there's like 6 views. 6 views. So anyway, okay. So I could make this closer, like make a close up of her face. That's actually quite compelling. Huh. You know what? No, I'm gonna stick with this. The reason why I'm not going to do a close up of her face, which would like take up the entire thing here, is A, it's a little too easy. B, I want to show more art here. I'm doing it's a visual medium, right? You don't want to cheat when you're drawing it, because I'm not under a deadline right now. I'm going to launch this book when it's drawn, when it's totally drawn, and it's totally inked, and it's totally lettered. I might launch the campaign when I still have coloring to work on, but actually, you know, I think that's what I'm going to do. When I will launch a mailing list when the book is actually drawn. Once the book is finished being drawn, that's when I will start a Dark Variance mailing list, and I'll have some kind of you know, award or kind of bonus for joining the mailing list before I launch the crowdfund. So yeah, so I'll figure out what I'm gonna do with that. But I will launch the mailing list when it's actually drawn and inked and possibly lettered at that point, and then I'll finish coloring it. So by the time the crowdfund is done, the book should be colored, and then I'll have the funds timed out so that I can go ahead and get it printed. By the way, I saw a very interesting exchange on Twitter. There's a guy who did a crowdfund. I think it's Unstitched. Is that what it is? Anyway, I'm puzzled by this, and I follow this guy on Twitter, and you know, I follow a lot of people on Twitter, and what I don't understand is that book is supposed to be done. The last update for that book was December of 2020, and then they said the book was done and all they needed to do was go print it. Well, the entire year of January of 2021 passed, and then we're halfway through 2022, and there's not been another update since December 20, and I don't understand how that can be. So, but that's none of my business. Insert Kermit drinking tea. Oh, I was listening to while working and forgot to smash the like. Well, it's too late now. It's all gone. All right. I think it just might be you and me, J-Bot, tonight. I haven't seen anybody else. But thanks for watching. I'll remember everything that you did for me when I become a big, massive superstar. All right. Let's get this right. Okay, so we're going to. Taper, taper, taper. All right, and brow, eyeline, go. Make sure I've got the ears right. I tend to draw her ears too tiny. Okay. Sorry if I'm not all that talkative right now. I'm just trying to concentrate on this. I'm working on my comic too. You're great to have in the background, my dude. Well, thank you. So I bit the bullet and I got the $25 basic plan. StreamYard is expensive. Let me tell you what, that is an expensive program. There's no way I'm paying $50 a month for it, though. That's ridiculous. But I would have probably have stayed with the free plan, except that they limit the hours that you can stream with it weekly. And so if I was going to be doing a stream every week, and I didn't want to worry about counting my hours, I was going to need to bump that up. So that's what prompted me to. I don't even know if I want her to be smiling here, but we'll just go with a smile for right now. Because she's actually, you know what? She is going to smile. The reason she's going to smile is because nothing phases her. It doesn't matter how dark and terrible things get. She is going to be happy no matter what. She's going to like it because she likes the challenge. So okay, so we're going to. There we go. I think that works better. Anyway, what was I saying? What was I talking about? Totally lost my train of thought. Oh, StreamYard. Yeah, so I just I've got all these different other subscriptions to things on the internet, and so it's like I try to run a tight budget. So I'm like, okay, well, if I'm going to do $25 a month for StreamYard, I'm going to need to get rid of some other streaming thing that I do. So I canceled some streaming services that I don't ever really use, and some other online gaming subscriptions, and all for the art, right? All for the pursuit of the art. All right, so before I start really getting into her body or her hair, excuse me, I need to figure out how I want her body to go on this. All right, so I think I want her holding a door shut. Here. I know I'm trying to do commissions to pay for it. Lol. Yeah, no, it's ridiculous. You know, I was talking to Joe Catapano from Star Circuit, and he was talking about the fact that he used to have it, but it was just too expensive. He goes, you know, his recommendation is to just not do it until you get monetized, not go for the $50 a month plan. And yeah, that's right. You know, those super chats can pay for that stuff, but unless you're getting super chats, that's just not going to work out for most people. You know, it's funny. I was talking about the fact that you want to, generally speaking, have rounder, softer lines for female characters, and that's true. But when you're going for, you know, super cut bodies, sometimes you want just a little bit of angularity. That's something that David Fincher does very, very well. And if you watch his videos and see how he tells people how to draw things, you'll get a lot of that kind of instruction. Actually, I don't know if this is the right line that I'm going to want for this stuff. This is part of, you know, learning to do what you want to do. $25 is fine for me. Yeah, no, it is. It's not out of control. That's something that's manageable. For me, though, it was like one of those things where it's like, I gotta get rid of some other things. So I am not entirely certain I like this image. I'm gonna have to work on this. So how's your comic coming, dude? think I'm just going to go page by page. Yeah, fair enough. That's how Jack Kirby used to do it. He would start on a page, panel 1, panel 2, panel 3, panel 4, panel 5, panel 6, panel 7, panel 8, and then that'd be page 1, go to the next page, go to the next page, and he would draw it literally left to right, top to bottom, 24 pages, and then never look at it again. That's one of the things, is that a lot of times Jack Kirby would write the dialogue so if you're not familiar with the Marvel way of making comics, the Marvel way basically was Stan Lee would say, "Hey, give me 20 pages about a couple of people, or maybe 4 of them, that were irradiated in the Van Allen radiation belt on a mission in space." That's how he'd say it, exactly like that. And then Jack Kirby would be like, "Okay," and then Jack Kirby would basically come up with the idea of how he was going to put this together with this story idea, and then he would draw the whole thing, and he would write the whole thing, and he would have his own little dialogue. He would draw the word balloons and then write the dialogue in the margins of what was going on, and then he'd turn that in, and he very rarely ever looked at the art again, ever. So he drew the pages, wrote the dialogue, handed it off, and assumed that every single book was being published like this. He never read comics. That's the weirdest thing, is that Jack Kirby would not read his own comics once he had drawn them. And so what happened was, Stan would get the pages back, and most of the time he would totally ignore what Jack Kirby wrote, and then he would write his own dialogue in there. And so he would look at the images, and he would come up with his typical patented Stan Lee way of saying things, and then he would put it on his name as a credit as a writer on the book. So you would get Spider or Amazing Fantasy or whatever. Actually, Jack Kirby didn't draw it. Fantastic Four. You get Fantastic Four. It'd say written by Stan Lee, drawn by Jack Kirby, right? Well, Jack Kirby never even cared. He never looked, and so consequently, everybody grew up thinking Stan Lee, for the most part, was the writer for these stories, because in fact, in actuality, he is the writer for the stories. But he came up with the idea for the story, and he wrote the finished dialogue, and Jack Kirby had written them, but he thought he was writing them. So he was upset that he wasn't getting the money that he thought he deserved, because he felt like everybody loved the comics that he was writing for real. And that's just the way it was with people back then. They just had different ways of looking at things that we don't look at these days. So if the adventure ends in 5 pages, it ends in 5. If it takes 10, it takes 10. Well, yeah, you gotta work it till it's done. All right, I need to get this back to some basics here. So her chest would go like this, and then muscles would go like that. Arm would go like this. All right. Her. Okay. So if that's going like that, and that's going like that, glove would go like this. Okay, so she is holding back a door here in this frame. That's what I need. I think I need to bring her eyebrow down. See, when you're doing this traditionally, you can't just erase it and start over. Sorry, guys. This is old school drawing. That's 11:51. Goodness gracious! I started this around 10:40. I'll see if I can go to 12:15. I'll go to 12:15 tonight. Let's bring this down. All right, so I think I want. Yeah. That's better. I saw some interesting comments or Twitter discussions where people like this guy. Yeah, I fix the focus. Maybe I'll format. Oh, is that a focus? Hey guys, is that better? Thanks. I'm glad. Okay, so I saw some interesting. There's this guy on Twitter. He asks kind of, I think, obtuse questions. Like he said he posed this question. I don't know if you saw this. He posed this question. He says, if you sold a comic book at a con to somebody who immediately turned around and set fire to it, would you sell him another book for the same price? And I was like, no. Why would I do that? And he says, yeah, I'd sell my old table, is what he said. And I'm like, well, okay. So my question is, why are you into comics and making comics if you don't care if someone destroys your work? So it's like, I would imagine that you take pride in what you do, and that because you take pride in what you do, you would want people to enjoy it, right? And you would want to share that with people. That's what you would really want, is you would want to share your stories with people. And so therefore, if there's an asshole and he buys your book and then turns around and sets it on fire right in front of your face, why would you sell that? And the guy and says, and the guy says like, well, I would sell the whole table. And I'm like, okay. And so I said, well, you're missing. I said, you're missing a. If you're in it for the money, you're missing an opportunity to make a lot more money by charging him for the newfound rarity of each subsequent book. So if you got 100 books and he burns a book, well, then you only have 99. So to me, the cost of the book should go up by 10% or like a 1% for each book. So by the time he gets to the last book, that book costs, I guess, like what, $100 or something if each book costs $1. So double the price per, yeah, exactly, double the price per issue. That's what I would be doing, right? So the guy's like, you're missing the point. And I'm like, okay, well, why are you asking a stupid question? I don't really understand that. I need to narrow her jaw a bit. There we go. There's Vinda babe. That's my babe. That's my girl. All right. Bring her hair down a little bit from up here. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So all right, so then what I need to do is come on. There you go. It is ruler time. Yeah, so this guy seemed to be just full of weird questions, and I'm not sure what is. He feels kind of antagonistic. So anyway, also I don't really like getting into drama, but something happened that kind of pissed me off. I heard about on Twitter, and that was apparently Ethan has relaunched Cyberfrog Wreck Planet as a second chance campaign because apparently this time he's getting ready to fulfill, and he is anticipating that the books will be printed and ready to go out by December of this year, right? Which makes the book a year and 3 months late, a year and a quarter late, I think. Now, I'm not going to sit here and complain about Ethan, so he can do what he wants. It's perfectly fine. Mainly because of the fact that I think a lot of people are, for me, his example gave me the inspiration and the confidence to even try to make this comic, let alone try to get it funded. And so what he's done has been an example, I think, that in my opinion, he gets a pass. So for his books being late, because also I know he's going to get the book out because he's always gotten the book out before. So anyway, but he had John Delarose on his stream, and they were talking about Eric July and Delarose. John's a funny guy. Okay, he is, but he's just one of these guys that I think, I don't know if have you ever known somebody who have you ever known someone who basically did not understand when to stop the joke? Like they took the joke too far. They had a good idea for a joke, or someone tells you a good joke, and then they come in off the top of the rope and off the top rope saying, "Oh yeah, if you like this, then what about that?" Right? And inevitably, it's far too much. It's way out of bounds. It's not funny. Oftentimes, it winds up pissing people off because you might point out a humorous observation, which is not positive or not flattering, but then when you like hammer it home, like you tee off on it, then it turns into making it personal with people. And I think that I keep subbing and I'm subbing to John. I think I'm staying on this. Yeah, I understand. I get it because recently he was having this big thing with Liam, right? All right, so Liam, bless his heart, Liam, he's a very interesting dude. Okay, and I've got nothing against him. I love the way he says manga. It's hilarious, or manga, excuse me. He says manger. It slays me every time. I love it. Anyway, so he did his book, and for the life of me, I'm trying to remember the name. What's the name of that freaking book? God, what's the name of Liam's big, gigantic, huge graphic novel? Damn it. Anyway, you know what I'm talking about. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. Too much drama. Then he has Vito on, and the cringe meter just goes, "Oh my god!" Oh, don't even get me started on Vito. So okay, so there are these dudes that have like they've got a YouTube and they're I guess the professional comic book people and they they did a cover for their horror thing that was an homage to Mouse. Okay, Mouse if you don't know is a Holocaust graphic novel where the Nazis are cats and the Jewish people are mice, and it's a horrifying story. It's definitely something that you should read if you want to read good graphic novels that are important, like actually really important. And so it's not a topic. The Holocaust is not a topic for jokes. It's not a smart idea. Okay. It just is not a smart idea. And I know people say, well, you should be able to make fun of anything. Like, you should be able to make fun of anything, but that doesn't mean that you should make fun of everything. Okay. That's a fine line. All right. So the idea that you should be able to make jokes like that, horrifyingly in bad taste, okay, fine. If you want to strike one for art, then yeah, knock yourself out. Don't be surprised when people hate your guts and want to set your house on fire. Rightfully so. But that being said, these guys they had this cover and they decided that they said that they were shamed by cancel culture into not doing this, and they apologize. And in comes John Delarose off the top rope again, and he says, "Oh yeah, well I'm gonna make my next book that I do have a mouse cover." And I'm like, dude. And I even told him on Twitter, it's like, why would you do this, man? And yeah, no, not Boy Island. It was the other one. It's the like futuristic one. Read the first few pages and brought it right here. And still haven't read it though. Okay. Well, is John's Boy Island? I don't know. Maybe that's the one you're talking about. So anyway, so I was like, dude, why are you doing this? Because they canceled him. Like, no, John, they didn't cancel him. They realized they were being assholes. So they decided not to be assholes. And John's like, no, I'm going to be the asshole. I'm like, okay, all right, fine. So anyway, so then he gets into this big fight with Liam. I think people should just leave Liam alone. Okay, really? Leave Brittany alone. They should leave Liam alone, and then let him be. Because I mean, Liam doesn't need people to wind him up. Okay, he just doesn't. So just I know that people love to pick on him because he's Liam and he reacts to it, and he overreacts to it. So, I get that. So, but, you don't need to poke the bear, as it were. So I am streaming while drawing. Oh, come on. Drawing a bit longer. Watch this. Watch what I tweet now. Talking about the latest drama in Comicsgate. I want to see what happens. I'm going to tweet this out, Daybot. I'm streaming while drawing for a bit longer, talking the latest drama in Comicsgate. Stop by if you dare. Okay, so boom. Okay, we'll see. We'll see if someone shows up. So, okay, let's go back. Okay, I get it. Once in a while, poking at Liam, but every damn day she. I'm 22. Well, okay, yeah. So I mean, if you shit all over Liam, right? He's gonna come after you, and I know it's fun. I get it. I understand. Liam is just a kind. He's a bit of a sensitive dude, and so John coming in and pissing him off all the time. I will admit that that the cover that Liam got super pissed off about was hilarious. I will admit that was a funny cover. Okay. But at the same time, and Liam overreacted, but you know what? I mean, John didn't need to do that. I mean, was he going to get 3 people buying that book because of Liam, pissing all over Liam? I don't really get it. So anyway, so here's the thing. So Ethan has John on the stream, right? And I followed John on Gab because he's been banned off Twitter like 50 times. And so I followed him on Gab. He's like the only person I follow on Gab. And because, I felt like, it was getting out of hand, and you shouldn't be blocking people's crowdfunding because that's silly. So, but at the same time, you've got to know when to fold them, right? And so here comes Eric July making millions of dollars in a week on his comic book, and good for him, right? Good for that dude, right? And so then John goes on Ethan's stream and then makes this comment. No, he doesn't go on Ethan. He didn't do it on Ethan's stream. He did it on somebody else's stream. He's on somebody else's stream where he makes a comment about Eric July and his ethnicity and how you can buy his book because of his. And I'm like, what the hell are you doing, man? I mean, that's like, I don't understand people like that. I don't get the incessant compulsion to say things like that, right? And so Ethan has him on a stream, which is, I'm sorry, if you go on Ethan's stream, you should be thankful that you're on Ethan's stream because he's got 1,000 people watching his streams every single time, and if you really want to get your work notoriety, like you want to get notary, what's the notoriety? Yes. If you want to get notoriety for your work and you want to get books sold, going on streams like Ethan's is an honor, right? And so it's like every single time John gets back into that point where he's on good terms with people, he says something like what he said about Eric July, and I don't get it, right? I don't get it. It drives me crazy. So, meanwhile, apparently Liam like privated all of his channels. I posted a picture of Vinda Babe here I'm drawing right now. And, what's it? No, I posted the rocket page. I posted the Voyager page, and Liam liked it, and he said it was really great. He said some nice things about it, and I appreciate that. And so I saw his live stream last week, and he's like, no one likes me, and this is causing me too much mental stress and all, and I'm gonna quit my YouTube channel. So apparently he didn't quit it. He wound up basically privating all of his videos. So it's like I don't understand why people just can't do their books. I don't understand why it's a competition. I don't get it. So so you had that stuff with JDA, and then you had that stuff with Liam, and the thing is that, and of course Ethan's coming back out with a second chance Cyberfrock, which again, I will forever give Ethan a pass because of the fact that he's kind of like the godfather of the movement. I mean, when you got your boy basically kind of like I feel like Meyer is doing. I feel like he's in a hostage situation. It's like he's got his books and he's doing his crowdfunds, but he's doing it even though he doesn't want to do it. It's like he feels dirty doing it. It's like that's the kind of vibe I get from him these days. When people like Michael Bancroft will go on live stream all the time and he'll interact with people all the time, and he has a big sense of humor about it. I appreciate that. But Meyer, it's like he's like, why don't I make $500,000 every time I do a crowdfund? I'm like, well, it's because you don't seem to really want, your heart's not really into it. So, but when you've got people acting like that, and then July comes in and makes like all this money, there seems to be a lot of people upset about it for some unknown reason, and I don't know if it's jealousy or frustration or whatnot, but I think people need to understand that July doesn't just have a comics fan base. He's got a broader fan base. So anyway, let's see, no additional comments. Okay, all right, so yeah, so I don't really understand it, but John needs to just, I think about for just a second something that he thinks before he says it. So but yeah, no, it's hard for me to follow him when he says things, by the way, when he says stuff like that, let me make sure I got the focus right on this. People will always come out and they say, oh, well, Comicsgate's a bunch of racists and a bunch of misogynists and they hate, gay people and all this stuff. And, when John says things like this, right, that feeds into that narrative and it makes it harder on everybody else, and this is not, I'm not personally attacking John. John can do what he wants to do, but it's just one of these things. It's like, can you think about some other people for a second, right? Just for a minute. That would be nice. Because that way we don't have to go on Twitter and then argue with idiots who are like linking to the Comicsgate Wikipedia, which says that we're all a bunch of assholes. So, it's always the ones that go out of their way to throw bombs that cause these problems. So, but yeah, that's my that's my opinion. Eric did everything the right way. He's opening doors for those. You're right. He is. Zach fans are an inconvenience to him, but he still takes their money. I've never backed a Zach book until actually this past thing that he did, the $1 for Jawbreakers. I've actually never read one of his books, but I saw this thing and I said, what the hell? It's $1. And I think it's free shipping. So I backed it, right? No, it's $4 shipping. So I backed it. So I got the $1 book. So I've never reviewed any of his other books. I've never read any of his other books. I'll tell you the reason why is I saw the art for, I don't know, was God King. It's the one where they fight the giant gorilla and like the gorilla and his eyeball pops out. And that's not my jam. I don't like that kind of stuff. So I never backed any of his books. But I backed this last one just to say I backed a Zach book, and we'll see what it looks like. But you're right. His fans seem to be kind of an inconvenience. And I don't understand it because, to be perfectly honest with you, all he needs to do is hire writers, artists, and letters and get a crowdfunding, a fulfillment company set up, and boom, the dude is set for life, man. He just puts out one of these every 6 months, and he's won the lottery. He's holding the winning lottery ticket, and he's kind of like, I don't know if I want to cash this or not. I want to make videos about breakfast sandwiches. Like, okay, sure. I mean, I guess that's fine. But it's like, and here's Ethan. Ethan's like, what are you doing? You know what I feel like? Have you ever seen The Mummy Returns, right? The Mummy Returns. At the end of The Mummy Returns, there's a scene where Brendan Fraser, right, and Arnold Vosloo. Arnold Vosloo is the mummy. They're fighting the Scorpion King at the climax of the film, right? And at some point, I think the mummy's babe dies or something like this, or no, maybe it was the spear, and Arnold Vosloo, he goes, oh, like this. He just like holds that out. Is this very operatic, dramatic pose where he holds his outstretched arms, and he's like, oh my God, I can't believe we've lost this opportunity. And I feel like Ethan is Arnold Vosloo there. He's the mummy, and your boy is like totally like burning everything and throwing everything away, and Ethan's like, why are you doing this? So it's just a funny juxtaposition. So but poor Ethan, he's trying to help people out, and people just like, no, I don't want you to help me. I want to set fire to everything. I want to wander around New York doing IT jobs. Okay, all right, man. If that's what you got to do, you got to do it. So you got to do what you got to do. Anyway, all right. So we got 2 viewers. Yay! It's a record. So I missed Zach from the Sunny D Factory. I don't even know what that is. Zach broke Ethan's heart, man. That was tough. Oh no, you're right. He did. It was terrible. So, and Eric did everything the right way, and he's opening. Yeah, you're right. He is. So anyway, so to wrap up the drama, it is 12:15. Bottom line is, and I apologize about my creaky chair. My wife had been borrowing my drafting table chair, and so I just got the chair back because she finally got a new chair. And apparently she's making it creak now, so I got to fix that. But anyway, so just to recap, Drew's take on the drama. Yeah, that's what I should do. I should do a series on my channel. Drew's drama takes. Zach used to say he worked at the Sunny D factory. Oh, okay. All right. Nice. I did not know that. Leave Liam alone. Leave Brittany alone because he doesn't need your help in self-destructing. Okay. Just, you want to have good entertainment to watch, and Liam is good entertainment. So I'm not taking the side. I'm not saying Liam's right to do what he did or John's right to do what he did or any of them's wrong. It's just like, Liam is entertaining enough just by himself. He doesn't need people stepping all over him. So, I mean, take it for what you will. All right. So I enjoy watching his channel. And he's friendly enough if you don't get too much into the weeds with it. So, and John needs to just think about what he's saying before he says it, because when he goes on streams and when he goes on streams and he talks about, you can buy Eric's book because he's of a certain ethnicity, so therefore it's okay for you to buy it. That's an asshole thing to say. And that is, if it's not completely racist, it's really borderline racist. And it's really pushing people. It's the same thing that people that are opposed to independent cartoonists who are upset about the state of comics, comic book artists and creators, that's the kind of thing that people use to paint us with a broad brush, and he needs to knock it off, especially if he's going to be on Ethan's streams. That's just my personal opinion, right? So, but anyway, so that's my take on that. Also, Bancroft is a great guy, and has always been so. He's like Switzerland, So anyway, I have, by the way, Battlebrick Road. I have not opened it yet because I want to do an unboxing video. I will say this: Battlebrick Road looks awesome. I have not read it, but and again, this is not a personal criticism of Eric Weathers. Okay, Eric letters a ton of books. I have yet to read a book that Eric letters is Eric letters. I've yet to read a book that Eric Weathers has lettered that did not have a typo or a grammatic error in it. And I don't know, part of the problem is that 90% of Comicsgate books don't have editors, right? And so the letterer's job is to letter what the script says. So if you've got a script that has errors in it, that's not really technically the letterer's fault, right? So I can't sit there and say that Eric doesn't do a good job lettering, because I don't know what he's got to work with. But I'm really curious to open up Battlebrick Road and see if there are any typos in it. So I hope there aren't, because the book looks amazing. I actually do have his, what is that other book? Flying Fortress. I got his Flying Fortress. I've never actually finished reading it. I need to sit down, buckle down, and read it. So anyway, so I've got to draw some alligators back here, flying, being flung up into the sky. I need to figure out. Oh, okay. This is what I need. All right. So that is the. I need a frame for the window. Okay. So there we go. Come watch Drew draw lines with rulers. That's super exciting. All right. And then I'm going to draw one other smaller line there that'll be used for mounting the window. Okay, so the window will actually be like right here. Let's see if I can't bring that down. All right. All right. And so she is going to be looking over her shoulder. I don't know. I need to put some furniture in here. I think I might put some furniture in there. But she's going to be seeing alligators. And they're going to be flying up. They're being launched. To the top of the skyscraper. So I'm going to draw little alligators. Speaking of S curves. Gonna have some that are turned this way. There you go. Maybe some that are like this. Anyway, thanks everyone who stopped by. Feel free to comment. If you have any comments on any of my commentary, feel free to put it there because I am not shy and I don't have, fifis. So you will not hurt them. I can't, but we can all agree that Vicky. Yes, we can agree that Vicky can kick rocks because, God, she says some of the densest things, and I don't understand. What was she saying the other day? She said the one thing about Rennie, and which, that's I've already covered that. But there was another thing that she was saying that was pissing me off that I didn't really understand. It was about fulfilling books. What was she talking about? I forget exactly what it was. It may have been about the same thing. But then she said something. She winds up saying she finds she comes across. It's like she comes across a car accident and makes the dumbest observation possible. That's what she does, and then fights you to the death about it. All right, I need to have some more alligators. Have a Superman alligator. That's gonna be fun. If you have drama you'd like for me to comment on, feel free to let me know. I'm full of opinions, so maybe I can make this draw stream just a little bit more interesting. All right, I think this panel is actually kind of turning out all right. Not bad. Should always probably have this on camera while I'm working on it. All right. So the next part of this page will be her leaping out of the window, right? And so then that will be followed up by this page. So the way that this goes is like this. And it's going to be, it's not a double page spread, but it's kind of close to it. So she's got these alligators that are flying up, and then she jumps out the building, and then the next page is her grabbing this one alligator, and this is from street view. So you're looking up at the sky like this, and so then that's the top of the tower right there, right here. And so you're going to have these alligators that are over here. They're going to be also flying up here, so I'm going to have to be drawing them. And all kinds of fun shenanigans. So, and so then this window here is going to be shattering out here. So that'll be coming out as well. So we're going to have glass all the way across. It's going to be fun. But anyway, alrighty, it's 12:25. It's 2 hours now. Thanks, looking good. Appreciate that. Looking good. Thank you. All right. Feel free to like and subscribe if you have not done so already. That helps me out a lot. It gives me encouragement to continue doing this stuff. And we'll see you definitely next Wednesday. If not sooner than that, I might do an impromptu stream. As far as you, JBot, let me know if you're streaming sometime. Always send me a link, and if I'm free, I'll be happy to do it. I'm not always free. I will apologize again that I missed your link the other day, so I wish I had not. But sometimes things come up. So, but anyway, again, thanks for hanging out with me, and thanks for watching. So appreciate everyone that's been here, and I'll catch you guys next time. Okay, take care.